This is episode 3. 2.5, because half of episode 1 is a recap. Hello and welcome. I'm Ep3 Gregan, and today I'm here for My Hero Academia, the final season, episode 3, Last Boss. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw this title, I knew exactly where this episode was gonna go, where it's gonna end, and I'm not excited. I am not ready for it. I am, especially after seeing the preview that they had at the end of last episode, the absolutely insane animation that they teased. I might be in shambles at the end of this episode. Fair warning. As the thumbnail showed, I am a manga reader. After this episode, most likely, I will only be vaguely familiar with the events that'll happen from now on, because for basically the rest of the season, the rest of the events that'll happen, I haven't read it since it first came out. So it's going to be a lot more fuzzy on the details. So I'll be reacting to a lot of this like I haven't seen it before after this episode, which I'm really excited for. It'll be like pseudo anime only, but this episode at the very least, I know what's going to happen. I'm incredibly I don't have words to describe how much I'm looking forward to this. If done right, this may be one of the best episodes of the show. And I just can't wait to see what they do with it. I am looking a little different today. I've had a little bit of trouble getting myself going today, so my hair is a mess, which is why I'm wearing my flat cap today. So just don't pay the look any mind. But you're not here for that. You're here for this. So as usual, I will post the unedited full reaction in the description. I will also have the full but edited reaction on here. Usually just mostly a black bar covering most of it because copyright is insane for shows that are ongoing. But it's completely free to check in the description for the full unedited reaction. So go ahead, click the link if you want. Stay here if you want. Either way, let's jump into My Hero Academia, Season 8, Episode 3, Final Boss. Oh, the sadistic smile. There really isn't anyone quite like All for One. The end of an era. I said it last episode, but the way they bring these manga panels to life is stunning. They're really showing that there's so much more to bring manga to life than just animation, as this scene will show. It has beautiful animation, but it's got so much more than that. We're not going to get that unholy music again, are we? We're getting a different one. Wow. There's the split screen. Oh! Oh! Oh my god. Okay, we're getting changes this opening. Okay. Oh! What? Wow! Oh! He's in the front now! Okay. I'm gonna have to take this off. This is gonna get way too hot. Yes. I love how they changed it when he's here. So really, they were just hiding it before the reveal. The restraint on them is amazing. Maybe I should update my bingo card. If you know, you know. Oh, he's trying to split him in half? Dear God. The end of an era. And the world keeps turning. What happens there won't affect us. Wow. Hey, there's Meryl. Everyone's favorite American. Wow. Bakugo. I love these perspectives so much. Like, it's so easy not to care about these people because we don't know them, we've never met them, but I feel like it just takes a little empathy in you. You can really see yourself in these positions, right? Even if we obviously can't put ourselves in this position, like, just imagine. The chills. Here we go. Mm-hmm. No words needed. That's what that is. Oh. He's got the suit. Oh. Yes. Okay, fuck the hat. Wow. Just breathing. Oh. Oh. Shigaraki, you nasty. The eye. Bro, Bakugo literally woke up. He said, I don't know where I am. I don't know what time it is. But I know this motherfucker's gotta die. Night Eye. Oh, the continuation of this OST. Energy. Converging. Mm-hmm. Vision. Everyone's energy. One for all is the accumulation of everyone's power, not just the wielders. Oh. It's so beautiful. This time you've got to do it. Not this time. Save to win and win to save. You're so much more worthful alive. Yeah. There's more to a legacy than sacrifice. Oh my god. So beautiful. He's got 3 names. Sludge Villain, League of Villain Capture. That's crazy. But now he's got a 4th. The man who saved All Might. But you're not done yet. Oh. Yeah, he's on the verge of death. You can see it in his eye. Thank God we've got this moment. I need to breathe. Bakugo saying thank you, senpai. The sheer growth of this man is unbelievable. Spark. Sweat. Your own power. The previous generation keeping you there long enough for your own strength to push you through the finish line. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Horikoshi's writing is incredible. It's not flawless. I'll talk about that later, but it's breathtaking. I love the idea that All For One's it's just flying there, just like, what the fuck happened? Huh? He's just in shock. Dynamite. That's so beautiful. The older generation's inspiration of his own power, giving it to him to use. Oh. The most beautiful smile we've ever seen from Bakugo. Oh, he's thinking. That's why. That's why he was just standing there. He's trying to figure it out. Yeah. Because the plan's falling apart now. More important than anything else. We're getting angry. You're losing yourself. One by one, they're falling apart. Whew. Is this face just gonna be plastered on me for the whole episode? Oh my god, and we're not even done yet. There's still one more big thing I'm waiting for. You probably already know if you're watching this. I'm not one to pause episodes in the middle before they're done. I've never been so tempted before to pause. Just so I can breathe. Very polite of them to give me this moment. Let's wrap up these little ends real quick. Give you a second. You're gonna need it. What the fuck is that? Oh, that's dirty. Throwing those three. Just throwing them at another villain. Dirty. It's okay. We remember what Sero's done. We know Ojiro's a real one. Pretty sure there was a third one there. God, what an insane final battle, right? All these different fronts with all these developments where they're intertwining with each other. Just a masterclass in shonen storytelling. Oh, first-person POV. Nice. Okay, here we go. Break time's over. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, the voice acting. And the final battle's brewing. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's incredible. It's just a pebble. But All One doesn't get it, does he? Even a landslide is just made of countless pebbles. Oh my god. What are they on right now? He's just crashing. I'm losing my fucking mind. What are they on? They realize they've got like 10 more episodes, right? It's so freeing. Yes. Oh, hey, Shigetsu. It's like the first time we're seeing it, isn't it? I'm just twirling around. Oh, and his parents. And this is the Bakugo's theme. Dun 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 dun. Smiling. Bum. Ba-da, bum, ba-da, ba, ba, ba. Mm-hmm. Person who stole away my brother. It's his fault. It just took one pebble. This is unreal. I'm going to be listening to this OST for years. This is unbelievable. The second. Gachan. They're teasing us. We're not getting it till next episode. Okay. I've thought about it since last episode, by the way. This is my favorite My Hero Academia opening. Ending, I mean, by far and away. Might be one of my favorite endings of all time. It's that good. The fact that they reimagined all of these scenes and redrew them, didn't just take them from the show. Unbelievable. God. Okay, what's next? Okay, yeah, we're getting his backstory here. Kose Bakuha. I never thought I'd be happy to be on camera with my hair looking a mess like this. But clearly, my body was more ready for this episode than I was. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. Screw it. I don't care. Screw it. I need to walk. I need to move. I need to walk around. When I made this channel, I wanted it to be like not sensational, explicitly not like in your face, like me freaking out and flipping chairs and going crazy. I wanted it to be like analytical. That's why I call it live analysis, not live reaction. I genuinely don't care right now. This is episode 3. 2.5, because half of episode 1 is a recap. Bones, what the are you cooking? Okay. Calm down. I'm not, but I'm. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, let's try to pull ourselves together. Okay, we're not monkeys. We're not animals. We're not children. Let's be adults. Let's be adults. See if I can even remember the things I was going to talk about for this episode. See if I can even remember how to talk. Okay. Do I even need to say what kind of episode this was? It feels redundant to call it fantastic, to call it peak, to call it phenomenal. I feel like an idiot pointing that out. I feel like it'd be more of an original thought to call Midori a good person. Call him a crybaby. Jesus. I can't speak. I can't think right now. The episode was so good, I forgot they changed the OP. I actually knew they changed the OP. When I woke up this morning, I was checking on YouTube, and since I watch the OP on Toho all the time, I saw like the opening, and I saw a screen of Bakugo, and I was like, wait, they changed it? And I forgot. As soon as I sat down to record, I got so excited, my brain just wiped it out of my memory until I saw this. But I didn't see this before either, so this was like new. This was like a jump scare. Nori with that absolutely feral face, and Bakugo at this point is just like, aren't I dead? I look like such an idiot right now. I do not. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I said it before, I love My Hero Academia. I love it passionately, deeply, for all its flaws and everything that's incredible about it. I don't know if anything else is going to give me a reaction like this. I kind of hope not. I mean, it's probably fun for you to watch. But wow. The fact that they changed all of this when they didn't have to. I said it before, I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm a manga reader, but I want to make these videos fully accessible to anime only people as it comes out, so I'm not going to spoil anything. So we're just going to move on. Ah yes, Shigaraki's two-finger arc. Season 6. What an incredible... Poor Meryl, she looks depressed. She probably got fired, right? It's rough. I really do love this, though. I completely forgot this was also in the episode because I don't need to explain myself. The episode explains me for me. But I mentioned it during this episode, but this is... this... To people who are like really focused on the action, they really want the action, they just want things to like proceed and they don't want things to like slow down. This may seem like filler, it may seem unnecessary, but this is the most necessary thing, right? Especially considering this episode. In an episode that is dedicated not to Bakugo, but to All for One and his ideology falling apart. Because that's what this episode was, right? Sure, it was about Bakugo, but it wasn't actually about Bakugo. It was about the cracks in All for One's plan showing, the cracks in All for One's ideology showing. He always likens it to pebbles, right? Pebbles on the road that don't bother me. But here's the thing. Imagine if they're not pebbles. Imagine if they're like little tacks, metal tacks, right? You're just driving down the road, and the entire road is just filled with tacks so small you can barely even see them. And a single one you just roll right over. But then another, and another, and another, and another. You need that for miles. Good luck repairing that tire wherever you're ending up, right? It's these little accumulations. And it's what I was talking about with All Might versus All for One. It's not just little accumulations, because that's also selling these people short, but you have to expand the metaphor out a little bit, really, to really give the people what they deserve, right? Because they're not pebbles, they're not tacks. They are just people who didn't happen to be gifted with the overpowered power of All for One. People with any other power, any lesser power, which is like everybody else, is a pebble to him because they're not on the same level as him. However, this ideology only works if you are only able to see people as people, individual islands. But no man is an island, right? And that's not man in the gender sense, that's man in the human sense. Nobody's an island. It's a phrase that's often used to say that like we're social creatures. No one can't work without leaning on others. But in this context, it also means that no man exists in a void. No man can live without affecting others. Every action you do has ripples. Because you so often hear in stories of like one man versus the world, or it's just us against the world. But that's not right, is it? Because us, one man, every person is part of the world. So it's never anyone against the world. That would just be the world against the world. Everyone is part of this living ecosystem that's constantly evolving and growing and developing, of humanity, of Earth, of the solar system, of the galaxy, of the universe. It's all one living, breathing ecosystem, one series of causes and effects. It would be like throwing a pebble into a pond and then looking at a single ripple and trying to identify a single ripple. You can't do that, right? Because as soon as you throw it in, the entire pond, the entire surface starts shimmering, and everything starts changing. You can't just identify a single ripple because there is none. All for One was doomed from the start because he's only able, from his worldview, every man is an island. So he can't see the damage as it accumulates. He can't see legacy as it's passed on. He sees these pebbles that he's holding up, these one for all owners who took his brother away. And he's so busy looking down on them as he looks up at them that he doesn't see them pass the torch to the next person. Because he doesn't see torches, he just sees the people. And that's what this episode is showing. And next episode is really what we're really going to see more of next episode, as we can see by the preview with going into his backstory and as this fight like really reaches its climax. And even here, right? This screenshot right here. No man is an island. Bakugo is a pebble. He couldn't save All for One on his own. He couldn't save All Might on his own. But with Gear Shift, by bringing their powers together, they're able to accomplish what they couldn't on their own. Tale as old as time, right? The power of friendship, all that stuff. He won't reach him. Not on his own. But he's not on his own. I love this so much. He shifts between all these people, named and unnamed. And that boy, right, from episode 1, who just couldn't help but pray. Now he's got both fists in the air, praying for this fight that, for all he knows, won't ever affect him. But he can't help but pray because there's this energy in the air. There's this feeling that we all need to come together. And if we do come together, things can be different this time. And they are. I didn't think this would get me as emotional as it is, but this was the first major thing I want to talk about this episode. Why I so dearly love why Bakugo was the one who had to do this. On the surface, the flashback, right, is the first obvious one. Why was I the one who ended All Might? I was captured, All Might lost his power. But now he's stronger. Now he's learned how to win to save to win. He's learned how to work with others. And he's put back in this scenario. He's able to redeem himself. And he does. He saves All Might this time. That's the first layer, right? But also, it's what I was talking about with All for One and with Legacy. We saw it in Season 7 when Edgeshot first went and saved Bakugo. The whole point of that is the older generations putting together their strength, putting everything they have into making sure that the next generation continues on, right? That's why Edgeshot was willing to give his life for Bakugo. Not because he's the main character, not because he's more important, but because he's the next generation. As Edgeshot said, his is a life we can't afford to lose. Now, is this perfect? No. There is something to be said about, with Season 6 and with this, the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, ... right? Of Bakugo continually faking out the fake-out deaths. But to be fair, this wasn't a fake-out, right? Bakugo did die. Which is why I think the bigger issue and the bigger complaint that people have, whether they can word it or not, is we didn't know Edgeshot well enough. I wish we knew him more and cared about him more so that his sacrifice would mean more. And then here we find out that he doesn't even seem like he's going to die. He's just out of the fight. So it cheapens it a little bit, I think. A little bit. So criticism where it's due. I have to be fair. He could have done better. And that's probably the last negative thing you'll hear me talk about this episode, if not this season. I'm sure I'll have more to say, certainly, but the rest of this episode is just gushing, right? It's just incredible. It's just incredible. I'm not going to waste your time by playing through the action again, just so I can enjoy it. I'll watch it after I cut the camera, because otherwise I just have to cut it all out, because even muted, it gets copyright claimed, and it's just ridiculous. So I'm not going to make you sit through that. A little upsetting these translators didn't include the fact that he referred to Edgeshot as senpai. It's a nice touch. It's a nice show of respect. But a bit of familiarity respect, right? Because they're both heroes now. So he really is his senpai. And thank you. Arigato. Edgeshot. His eyes are still dull though, right? Because he just doesn't have... He's barely alive. I simply held you together, but a small sweat bead brought you back. That's cool, right? He wasn't able to bring him back on his own, because as much as I talk about how the show is about legacy and about generations and passing things on, it also isn't about, that doesn't imply free rides, right? That doesn't imply I'm going to make $1 billion so that my children never grow up wanting for anything. Because then you're just raising a weak generation. You need to be there to support the generation, but not to lift them up completely. They need to be able to hold their own. They need to be able to stand up on their own. So the fact that Edgeshot and also Genus was basically just keeping him alive and keeping him at the point, keeping him from falling too far into death until his body, until his own strength was able to bring him back, is really cool. It's a nuanced showing of this idea of supporting without spoiling, of your own power getting you there, thanks to the efforts of those who came before you. The power you've honed over the years. I thought I'd see All for One who was a little bad. I'll kill him. I love the idea that everyone's talking about, like, oh, if All for One's getting younger, at this point, are we just going to be like beating up on a little kid? This kind of seems wrong. And Horiko's, she's like, that's a good point. How are we going to do this? What character can I use to beat up on this little kid without it seeming wrong? Wait a second. King Explosion Murder. Dynamite. Let's have him do it. No one's going to have a problem at all watching him just blow up on this little kid. Phrasing. Christ. Okay. That's cool. It's no longer functional. Take this. It's just back and forth, right? All Might inspired him. He inspired All Might. And now All Might is kind of passing on what he's seen as his legacy to the new people. That's cool. It's just continually passing on, continually building. It's just like One for All, right? Should I kill All Might? Should I go for this? Or should I go fix this? This brat should be nothing, but he stopped me. He doesn't say all that, right? But he's thinking it. And that's where you can really see, like, he's coming apart at the seams. They had this whole conversation on the rooftop. All for One is frozen because he had all these different paths lined out. And, like, as we're watching, it seems like, oh, he's prepared for everything. Oh, this is just stupid. It's just the villain who knows everything. Until it isn't, right? He's got all these different plans. If he has like 75 plans, and all of those plans just account for every single thing up to this moment, then until this moment, he seems omniscient. But as soon as Plan 75 falls apart, it all goes up in smoke. And all that's left are the mirrors. Just showing that he just gave the appearance of this all-powerful, all-knowing creature. But as soon as all those background paths start closing off, he's closed in. He's desperate. There are countless routes. There are not countless routes. There are more routes than you should think you need. These heroes are tenacious, pesky bunch. I'm the last boss, all for one. God. I could stay here just for an hour, just looking for different, just looking for wallpapers, strictly around Bakugo. It's cinema. It's incredible. It's stunning. Look at, this is the exact opposite of what we were left off with last episode, right? These like hyper detailed, yet still artsy, like, I don't even know what to describe it. Just like, they're like water paint, just works of art that should be in a museum. And this is like the most rough, hand-drawn, sketched-out drawing. And yet it's just as powerful, right? It's so Bakugo. It's got all of his expression. It's perfect. It's raw. And it kind of reminds me of the United States of MASH. When All Might was also like super raw looking. And it's incredible. It's amazing how Bones can reach into all these different categories of incredible animation and art style and visual expression and land each one of them, right? Demon Slayer is phenomenal, don't get me wrong, but it kind of has like one switch. It's got like mind-melting, clean animation with its 3D, with Ufotable's mastery of 3D animation. But I would argue this is more impressive. It may not be as ball-busting as what Ufotable can do, but I think this is even better. I like this even more. This is art. This is, like I've been saying, this shows that there is so much more to bring a manga to life. There's so much more to showing what an anime can do than just animation. Oh, Sato. I knew there was a third one. Gashly. Are they fighting Ghastly? What in the... That does not look like Ghastly. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what? We're just moving on from that. Not going to worry about that. Oh, there's some Class B. Totally remember them. Cool little POV shot from Lady Nagant. Why not? I don't know any sane person who will complain about having more Lady Nagant in the show. Dear God. My whole body hurts just like Season 7, but I've got to make the most of it. Shigaraki. I don't like using this term. I hate these hey fellow kids moments, but there's no better way to describe it. Shigaraki is just plain ore farming. This whole episode. Look at him. This whole time we thought we were restraining him, he's just like, okay, time to actually start fighting. And now we can tell the real fight's going to begin. So exciting. Uses his third gear shift. And we're getting started. Go beyond. Oh, jeez. So good. So stunning. Pushing me aside. He doesn't have as much force. It's not worth it. Oh, God. Okay, I've got to play this. This is... going through... We're going through his vein with all like this, the sweat and the sparks sparking through inside of his body. I don't even know why I paused it here. I could just hit play and it's basically paused. This blew me away. This I'm gonna have to create like a tier list of my favorite moments in this episode alone, but This honestly might be my favorite. I was not ready for like the time stall, for everything to freeze. Zawada though, right? Strike your favorite JoJo pose. Absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely incredible. I'm so fast. Me when I'm on the last half mile of my marathon. But then he just like tumbles around and he's just flying around, smiling. He's just embracing the pain, clawing his way through buildings. Absolutely incredible. Get to see Shiketsu for first time, it looks like. I can't watch, but he's smiling right now. Season 2, remember? Deku and Kachan versus All Might. Because you were able to smile on the face of a wall. He's always been able to smile. And then we get here. It finally starts coming full circle. They look alike. And I mentioned this before. Are they related? Is this some long-lost descendant of Kudo? Maybe. Does it matter? No. It doesn't matter. If it mattered, why would Nana Shimura have been in the exact same pose? It's these insignificant insects that reach their hand out and change the world, despite not having enough power to do so. It's all your fault, Kudo. You stole my brother. No spoilers for anime onlys. But it's this line. If this line didn't make you stop, you haven't been paying close enough attention to All for One. But at this point, we finally, with all of his plans exhausted, the smoke and mirrors clearing, what's left is the single lone person behind it all. The next episode, we're finally going to see what that entails. And he calls himself Kachan. Incredible. Kachan, Bakugo Kachan. Owning it, right? The name he's always hated. Season 3, when Mandalay was using the telepath and saying, Kachan, whatever you do, don't fight. You hear that, Kachan? I don't know where you are, Kachan, but be careful. And he's just like, Kachan, Kachan, shut up already. He's losing it. I'm Bakugo Kachan. I own that shit. And that's the name of the person who's going to end you. Even that, right? Even that shows he's not alone. He's brought a little bit of Deku with him. It just never ends. It never ends, that the refutation of All for One. Why he's such a perfect villain for the story. I didn't notice this last time. I didn't realize this because I haven't been reading the volumes. I read it like chapter by chapter was coming out, but what 42 actually is it's a reference to the 42 volumes of the anime. So that's such an awesome detail. I love that. I just had to mention that here. Oh, I can't wait for next episode. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. This was so good. This was... I don't have anything to say. I can't say anything you don't know. I can't say anything I haven't seen. I want to keep recording just so I can keep, just in hopes that like having an audience in front of me will somehow magically put my thoughts together, but it won't. This just kind of broke my brain. I walked into this thinking this might be one of the best episodes of My Hero Academia, and I walked out looking at the person walking in, thinking about how oblivious he was, how little he knew. They blew my expectations away. The moon's already broken. I planted my expectations on Mars. And then I blinked, and Pluto is turning into a new asteroid belt. And I look back and Bones is just like, gotcha. I can't wait for next episode. Anyways, I doubt anyone's still watching here after this point. At this point, I'm just gushing. I'm not adding anything of value. So I'm going to leave it off here. And I'm just going to spend the rest of the day thinking about my life and thinking about these blessed animators and everyone involved in this who put this together, who's given us this masterpiece. Make sure to thank them yourselves. Even if not like reaching out to them, just when you're going to bed tonight, just give a silent thank you to all these people giving us this. They work so hard for it and they don't get enough in return for it. So the least they can get is our gratitude. So thank them. Thank you all. Thank you all for watching. And I hope to see you in the next video. Whether it's my JJK reactions, which I'll be uploading mostly daily, or this, which I'll be uploading I'll try to get them out every Saturday. I think I'll be able to do that. They might be out Sundays. We'll see how it goes. But I'll see if I can get out Saturday. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you're looking forward to the next episode. I hope I see you there for the next one. But until then, have a wonderful, lovely rest of your day.